Hello everyone and welcome to another Spark series by Opto Research Consultancy Services, which is a podcast focused on getting insights and experiences from the experts in the field of eye and vision care. Today we have Dr. Anuradha, Principal, Elite School of Optometry, who has keen interest towards school eye health programs. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Anuradha. Congratulations for your diploma from AU.
Thank you, Dr. Gopi. I'm very happy that I'm calling you Dr. Gopi. Every time, no, you see your student achieve success in many aspects. No, I've always been very, very happy. And I remember you as my student in your undergraduate days. And your batch was always special to me. I've told this in many occasions. So thank you. And it's a very interesting initiative. And I would say this is like one of its kind, and the services that ORCS is extending towards the research and the quest for creating evidence in optometry. I've always loved this, and best wishes for all your endeavors in this.
Thank you so much. So we'll quickly start with the session. Let me start with the first question. What really inspired your research career, and can you share some rewarding aspect which you have experienced from your research career?
My research career, in the sense, I never intended to have any research career in the beginning days of my career, because I was a very hardcore clinician. Many of you who were my students in the earlier years, they would know that I was never part of any particular research projects and all. I was always a clinician, and clinician also many wouldn't know, because it's like long back 98 that time. So I was the optometrist in charge of the LASIK division at Shankar Nethralaya for many years, after which I started teaching at Elite School of Optometry, and then I took up community work at Elite School. So it was never a research career, but many do not know that I have had a quest for research always. Way back when I was working in the LASIK clinic, I had earlier enrolled for a PhD that time in collaboration with Anglia Ruskin University. So I've always wanted to do some research, definitely. But it didn't go through that time because of my personal commitments. It didn't go through. But as a person, I am always curious to know answers for many things. I ask questions to people. I am always curious. Even my students would know that I keep asking questions. And one more, and my questions are all very tough. That is also there. People always tell me, ma'am, your questions are all very tough, because I want people to think. I also would like to think. That's always my mindset. The second aspect is I am a methods person, I would say. I want everything to be done step by step. And I know, like, the result should be like this. It should be satisfying to the patient. So that was always there in my career. So the process is research. That's what I have always thought. The answer is this, but the process is research. That's what made me a researcher. But after that, it's been a very big, long break, and almost like 10 years later, I started my research, official research career very, very late. But I would say that many aspects of the research is always rewarding, because no, the answers to your research questions, it gives you an authenticity to tell, yes, this is the right way of doing things, and this is the result you would get if you follow these steps. So this way I can help more people. This way I can help more clinicians to practice, or people don't have to repeat the mistakes that I have done. So this is a path that is laid out. Research lays a path for everybody. So that way I have always felt my methodology, my thought process have always been as a researcher. But as a chopper of a researcher, I've never been a researcher for many years. What is rewarding in this career? Of course, a lot of rewards are there. As I told earlier, to help people is the biggest reward that I consider. And added to that, my community eye health services, the school eye health services, that is my predominant research area. I'm very glad that I'm able to help millions of children through my research activities. That's what is rewarding always to me. So this has become a very big team effort now with my entire team. Now more and more people are getting into the community outreach related research, which is also very rewarding as long as my research journey and the continuity is concerned. So thank you for that question, because most of the time I have never, I've all still I think that I'm a clinician, but the answers to the questions that I have for my patients, be it in the community or in the clinic, should be through research, and that is what research career is for me always.
Thank you so much. I think the paths you guys have led always been like clinician should be like a good researcher should be a good clinician. So I can connect that from your answers. So going ahead with the next question, can you share a challenging research project and some qualities which you have really worked on to overcome those obstacles which you have faced in the research project, which will help aspiring researchers?
Every research is challenging in some way or the other, and community outreach, anything related to community outreach, even the smallest of things is a challenge, because the first thing is you don't have a 5-star environment. You have to adjust to many things. That's the major obstacle in my area of research. The other, everything is a challenge, I would say. Like nothing is decided beforehand. That day morning when I go out into the field, many things change. So it's always challenging. And the other thing is you have to face a lot of people in the community of different cadres, be it from the low level staff to the highest government authority. And the way you are going to deal with the challenges with these different resource persons. And handling children by itself is a challenge in my research field. And the quick thinking is necessary sometimes when you're out in the community, because you don't have luxury. As far as my research area is concerned, everything could be a challenge. I hope my internet connection is stable and I'm audible. Shall I continue? Yes. So everything is a challenge in my area of interest, school eye health. So I have, when I did my PhD, I remember still I was collecting data, and towards the end of my doctoral work, I still remember it was a 1-year follow-up. That was the time when there was flood in Chennai. So all my patients, all my study subjects, when I went back and asked them, I was checking on complaints of spectacle wear. Everybody invariably told the spectacles got washed away in the flood. So, which was like never, no, I didn't expect any such answer. So, any research journey is complicated, especially this field is always complicated. Any community outreach related research is complicated, but this makes you a better person. Okay, this makes us a person who can face any obstacle. My team, I would say, the growth of the person, an optometry researcher in the field of community outreach, both in terms of personal growth, a personality growth, or in terms of the research growth because of the huge data, I feel if two people A and B start the career at the same time, those in the community outreach can excel far better, and they can, time wise also, they can do very well if both of them start the journey at the same time. But yes, you have to face all these challenges. You have to be ready for anything. You cannot see the time and work here. You need to be flexible, patient, resilience, team behavior. You can name it, you will get it. So this field has an exclusive need, and this field is also very, very rewarding. I'll tell you the rewards question one more time. I told you that my professional research journey started very, very late. But in the last 5 years, I would say I have published 30 papers. Okay. So all in the QN index journals. So I would say the data mine is there in this field. And in this way, you can help more people than a limited number of people. Your reach, is going to be to millions of people. So rewards are plenty, but hard work is definitely needed. More hard work is needed. I have never sat simply for a day. So that is the mindset people should have. Any research, community research, everybody should be ready to work. You can't see time, you should be flexible. No, all these are the qualities I feel it could lead you to a very rewarding journey. That's very important. Results are good, results are huge. So it's always satisfying that I'm able to help more people, with my research.
Yeah, thank you for that. I know SN and Elite School have been doing so many collaborative works and collaboration with industry as well as community. So how do you really approach collaborations with researchers and build reasonable partnerships towards success?
Collaborations, no, people think that collaboration means it's always outside with somebody else. Okay, but I have a different thought about collaboration, both internal and external collaboration. That's how I would say. Internal in the sense, see, as you told, I'm working with Shankar Netralia. You know how many hardcore researchers are there. If all of us sit together and collaborate on multiple areas of interest, there are things that each of us can contribute in our own ways, which is what I'm trying to do right now. We always have a mindset that we should collaborate with outside people, international collaborations. That's a mindset. That's good. I'm not saying it is not good, but I would like to start from within. Okay, so I have been having discussions with people at SN, and I'm also seeing how to establish collaborations through internal marketing of each other's work. I'm People are very poor in marketing. The word is marketing, but still I think people should be appreciative of the work that we are doing within the organization. Not many know that I'm doing this. I do not know what others are doing it. One is internal. We have initiated a few works like that. The second thing is national and international collaborations with the outside world. I am always thinking about which areas of interest would benefit the institution, Elite School of Optometry, which areas of interest would benefit the hospital, Shankar Netralia, so that we can help in turn many more students and many more patients. That's the intention that I have. With that in mind, now I have initiated few collaborations, both in the national and the international level. In terms of these collaborations, as I told you, in continuation to the community outreach work, now we have partnered with many NGOs and international NGOs, because of which lot of unanswered questions are answered. There is always a question, whenever I do school screening, our model is based on our model is, I'm sorry about that. Our model is based on, our model is mainly based on contributing to the community through the help of optometry school, through its students and faculty, everybody being a part of the community outreach. But whenever I discuss this in a forum, people will always tell me, optometrists using them in community outreach is very costly, and it's not a viable method. They are not available everywhere. So there are two projects which are very close to my heart. One is the role of optometry school in providing single day mass session screening. This is my first publication along with Dr. Krishna Kumar, where we said how this model, through this methodology, we have almost like 100 odd schools of optometry in the country, how we will be able to deliver to more children with this process. That was my first publication. The second aspect on cost of the cost of utilizing optometrists. We found that when we use optometry students and optometrists as part of the comprehensive school age screening, we only spend $0.6 for screening a child, including the deliverables like spectacles or vision therapy kit, whatever it is, counseling services. It was just close to $1. So it is way cheaper and way more effective than any other current models that are existent. So I am very happy, that I am able to contribute to the different questions that are available in this community. This was possible because of the collaborations that we have had with the international and national NGOs. This was through a big project that we did on a national level with 6 different partners. But we compared our models with the other models, and we are able to tell them, yes, this could be the best model. The other international partnerships and collaborations that we have are in the optometric education aspects, because that's another area where many things have not moved further, I feel. And as an institution, as the first modern school of optometry in the country, I feel that ESO should be doing more research on optometric education. So I am also thinking about collaborating with different international and national universities. We initiated a program called as virtual grand rounds for our students during COVID. And with the Deakin University, their students and our students had a virtual online grand round session. And experts from both the sides, optometrists and ophthalmologists, used to mentor the students. And this became a very robust methodology. Students discussed the case for almost an hour with these experts in place. So we have published almost now 2 publications from the education as to how this could be a very robust model is there. So I think about the needs of the institution, needs of the college, and the needs of the community, and then tailor my collaborations, both internal and external, according to that, and then make sure that the collaboration has a meaning to both the country and also outside the country. So if you have time, I can add one more to this about internal collaborations. So my master's student, I also work on quality of life related research. I told about internal collaborations. Now we have been working exclusively with the ophthalmologists inside Shankar Nethralaya. We work on quality of life in different subjects, in different disease conditions with various subjects. So one was on vernal keratoconjunctivitis, because there are no questionnaire-based studies on vernal keratoconjunctivitis, a questionnaire for our own country. So I'm collaborating with the cornea department now on this. Now there is another dry eye related research project which we are doing with school children in collaboration with the Ocular Surface Clinic at Shankar Nethralaya. So many of the collaborations, we should keep our minds open, we should keep our eyes open, and then see how best you can utilize the strengths of each person, gel it together, and see that it benefits the community in a bigger way. So collaborations, yes, there are n number of possibilities. India being, everybody knows our data, so people keep asking us for more collaborations, definitely. But we need to be very clear as to what we want for our country, we want for our community, and then see both internal and external collaborations. No, it shouldn't be made for the sake of doing things, but it should be beneficial and the expertise should be shared. Previously, I have seen many a times where we only used to be a data sharing partner. No intellectual contribution used to be there, which shouldn't be the way. So I make sure that as part of master's or doctoral research, there is always a contribution equally from both the sides of the partners or multiple partners in that case. Now prospectively, we are thinking about the models of school eye screening in India, UK, Australia. So I'm going to partner with the international contributors. The other advantage that ESO has is the network of alumni. Okay, it's almost going to be 40 years for Elite School of Optometry, and many are very ardent researchers in our alumni. And everybody would want to share their knowledge and expertise with the alma mater, definitely. So I am also initiating collaborations with our own alumni in terms of what would benefit my country, my community, and my institution. Elite School of Optometry and optometry as a profession at large. So lot of possibilities are there, and the future looks very bright in terms of collaborations. So I'm also looking forward, like our team of people, to expand this more and more.
Thank you for that. I'm happy to know that all the internal collaborations are being brought up, which was less during my times at SN and ESO. And be it partnership or collaboration, lot of ethical aspects are involved. So how do you really address ethical consideration, especially in school eye screening and community eye health?
That's a big process as such. Ethics. Um, See, one major point that I would want to emphasize to anybody is, if you are really genuine, if you really want to help the ultimate beneficiary, you can never go wrong. You can never be wrong in the way you conduct a research. Nobody would be able to point at things. So, but the I see that the mindset of students would are, just to finish the data. They don't see how it is going to be beneficial to the end community. That's the only difference I see. If you put yourself in the shoes of the patients or the shoes of your beneficiaries and then see the process of the research, you can never be wrong with the ethics. All my proposals that I have submitted, I remember my very first the ethics approval. So many questions were asked. They were literally shooting questions from the ethics committee on when I wanted to do some work on color vision screening and counseling. Oh, it's a very sensitive issue. No, you cannot do. But I was able to convince them because of the genuinity that we had in our approach. We wanted to really help the students. We wanted to really help the children in the presence of parents, in the presence of teachers. So I feel genuineness in the ultimate result and transparency in all the methods that you follow can help you be a very, very ethical person. This is in terms of the study. In terms of publication and data handling, there are a lot of other things. Okay. But all this, the problem comes when these are all told to them at the later stage, either to your students or your fellow researchers. No, there is still no professional handling of this research aspects in many of the institutions or organizations in India, I would say. Not only in India, even outside, I see that there is no clarity or transparency in many such aspects. So I always make sure that I talk about all this at the very beginning. I'll tell even my own master's students or doctoral scholars that I'm currently having, I've always told them, first thing that I would like to say is, even if it is my own name, I just don't want to put my name, because if I don't contribute. So it has to come from our side first so that people would emulate and follow that. I don't contribute, I don't want my name. So they will also think about it. If I don't contribute, I don't want my name in it. So this guest authorship or ghost authorship, all this is not going to work. This because authorship related ethical concerns are many, I am sure. The data handling, this is also now clearly given to all the scholars here, be it a postgraduate or a doctoral scholar. We give it in writing and saying, this is how data is handled in our institution. And we don't want anything else to happen apart from these guidelines. So this is given at the beginning stage itself rather than at the later stage. So I would say transparency and very robust guidelines would ensure ethics, but ultimately keep that the patient is going to be benefited finally. If that is the thought that is ingrained into the project itself, I wouldn't see any ethical concerns. Okay, small things here and there we can know without knowing, unknowingly you can do something. But if everything else is clearly laid down, I'm sure you won't have any ethical concerns. Just patient safety, patient benefit. That's the only thing that I keep in mind. And nowadays, anybody sitting in the ethics, any question, my students also know. No, we are very genuine. We want to help the patients. So if that is the mindset that you're reflecting to your committee or to your other stakeholders, I'm sure there wouldn't be any ethical concerns.
I think you have answered my like subsequent question on some of the advices for the early career researchers. Apart from the ethic aspects, do you have anything to any advices for the early career researchers?
I don't believe in giving advice at all nowadays because the mindset is very different. So I would want to show them what I do and ask them to follow if they like it, if they could do it. That's the only thing that I would say. But be genuine and what I wouldn't say this is an advice. This is only my recommendation and suggestion to the young researchers. Of late, I find that people do research because people do PhD or any research because one, they want publication, two, they want to put a doctor in front of their names. I see that this has been the mindset of young researchers nowadays. These two, apart from these two things, nothing satisfies people. Getting a publication, some publication, okay? Getting a publication and putting doctor because I am doctor so and so. I feel that this mindset should change. You should enjoy doing the work that you are doing, be it research or clinical work or any work for that matter. That joy is what is you are going to remember for your life. Okay, you will have stories to tell, you will have hurdles to face, everything will be there, but the joy of doing things, whether you have, that's the question to the young researchers. No, nowadays researchers, everybody don't do it because you want a doctorate, you want to put doctor or you want to have a publication. The other thing is people are not resilient. No, I have all my publications. I remember I had to have 3 publications from my PhD work. My last work, which is my main work, core work, got rejected in almost all the journals, which is the core area. But you have to keep trying because you know your work is genuine. You know your work has done good. You have done a good job. But now what I see is if there is a rejection from one journal, people get rejected. They don't work on it further. You know, they don't. If it is done once, it is done. They don't want to correct anything. I remember I have written thousands of drafts sometimes for many articles. It happens. We all know that. But young researchers, do they have this mentality? This is the question I want them to ask themselves. So, and ask more questions. Once you've got a PhD, that doesn't mean that your research journey is done and all over. No, that it has to go on. It has to be continuous. So please keep asking yourself these questions. Are you enjoying your research? Are you really feeling that you are contributing to your nation, your community? Is that the question that is there in your mind? And if you do something, do it with all your heart. That's what I would say. Keep your mind open and do it with your heart. That's what I would say to the young researchers. Not an advice, but a suggestion or a recommendation, definitely.
I second all your thoughts because when I get like people asking I want to do PhD, I ask first question why. They will be like I get publication and I get doctorate in front of my name. So I truly second your thoughts. And coming to the last question of the today, like how do you really balance your research demands with personal life and well-being?
Maybe I should ask my husband and daughter to answer this, probably. But you should have a very supporting family. No, I remember my 4 years of my PhD journey was very hectic because I never had a formal master's. So I had a lot of coursework because it was a direct PhD. And I completed everything. My academic coursework, my data collection, my doctorate work was a mixed method study. So I had to conduct a lot of interviews. And then there was also like almost thousands of school eye screening I had to do. Everything I finished it in 4 years' time because I told you I started very late. I finished it. I wanted to finish it. Giving my 100%. So my daughter, I would like to thank her for million times because She used to literally have her breakfast, dinner, everything at ESO only. So she was so flexible. And my husband, who never questioned me for anything that I did. So it's no words to express my thanks. Unless you have a supporting family, it's going to be difficult. And my parents and brothers, I am a very strong-willed person. It all comes from my parents. If I start something, you have to finish it. That's my mom, and it has to be perfect. That's my father. So without their contributions, without my family support, I don't think it's possible. But you have to make some choices sometimes. You have to keep your family informed that this is the career path that I aspire to have, and this is what it is going to be. And when they need them, I'm going to be available. So, this is the message that I have given to my family. So, I am available when they need me, and they are going to be available when I need them. So, this is a very clear message. I also see that no, for women, this is even more challenging because you have other household chores that are waiting. So, but prior information is what your family wants from you. Okay, they don't like surprises. That's what I have learned over the years. Maybe if it will be a small tip to young aspiring researchers, it would be good. Be it man or woman, anybody, but prior information saying that you are available, you are not available. That's going to be very clear information. So I think I have managed pretty well. I have raised a daughter, and I know the difficulties of raising a child. I know I have been in a joint family, so I know the challenges that you could face with your family life. But only one thing that I would like to say is it is still possible. It is never too late. That's the only message, no, that I would like to tell anybody who wants to balance personal and professional life. All possible. This you can even take it as my advice. People say, I want to finish this and then start something else. I want to get married and then decide about my PhD. I want to have a child and then decide about my PhD. See, that is something personally I feel it will never work out that way. It has to happen simultaneously only. In life, yeah, in your life, does anything happen like that? You finish one thing and then only you start the next thing. So my only this thing is never wait for this. If an opportunity comes, you have to take it. So and it is all possible. You can still have your child and then do the PhD also or do your masters also. So there is never a time that you have to finish one and then start the other. So the entire universe will help you. That's what I would like to tell the young researchers. You should barge in and then do what best you should do at that point of time. Everything will fall in place.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Anuradha, for sharing your perspectives and research knowledge. I hope this conversation has ignited a little spark within all our listeners. See you all in another podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gopi. It was a pleasure and it was good remembering many things and then discussing it with you. I hope it would be useful in some way or the other to the young researchers, definitely. Thanks a lot.